Let's go.
It's time for the Lady Charmaine's Gospel Minute, keeping you up to date on all your favorite celebrities in the gospel music industry. From tour dates, CD releases, and all your favorite gospel television shows. It's not Hollywood gossip. It's the Gospel Minute with Lady Charmaine.
Well, my guest today is a 5-time NAACP Image Award winner. She is the original Laurel in the Broadway musical Dreamgirls, and she has starred in over 20 stage plays and appeared in over 20 films and 40 television shows. We have all watched her Wait to Exhale. We celebrated Christmas with her, and we watched this colored girl win the lottery, and her big happy family has experienced death at a funeral and jumping the broom. And here to talk about her 2 new movies at the movie theaters right now, help me welcome Miss Loretta Devine, and she talks about Medea's big happy family and jumping the broom. Hello, and thank you so much for coming to the show.
Hello, how are you?
I am doing great. It is such a pleasure to have you on the show, I must say. And I just love your spirit, ma'am. I had to tell you that.
Thank you.
Now, I was telling you before the interview that I actually met you at the Black Filmmakers Hall of Fame several years ago. I'm not even going to say how many years ago that was, but it was several years ago.
Okay.
And you still have the same personality, the same smile, because I took pictures of you because we actually sat at the same table, and your spirit is still the same. So I just want to commend you on that.
Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate that.
Now, I know you are a very busy lady because you have an amazing body of work. I mean, this Christmas, The Lottery Ticket, Death at a Funeral, Kingdom Come, Waiting to Exhale, Crash, Woman Thou Art Loose, Fantasia's movie, Jump the Broom, and Medea's Big Happy Family. How do you find time to do it all? But most of all, how do you manage to memorize all these lines?
Oh God, everyone asks that, but it's really just one show at a time. And so that makes all the difference in the world. You usually prepare for a character when you're doing a film, and you have a set amount of time to rehearse and prepare and then get everything in place and the ideas you want for creating that particular piece. I think sometimes television is a little harder than film because film is sort of exclusive. You go away somewhere and you focus just on that. Whereas television, and that's what I'm doing now, I'm doing a new show called State of Georgia with Raven Simone and a young girl named Mahandra Delfino, and it's going to be on ABC Family starting June 29th. And that's a little harder. Television is live. You have an audience. We're doing like a sitcom with multiple cameras, and so you have to be really quick with that. So that's a little harder than the learning lines for other things.
Now, the movie Jumping the Broom, your character was so lifelike because your character played a person that I actually know.
Oh, my God.
Yes. And I wanted to know, did you have any practice doing this? Are you a mother-in-law? How did you prepare for that role? Because that was too real.
Oh, no, my God. Well, there's so many women in my life that have sons, and there's always this special relationship between the mom and the son. My mother, I have one brother, and he is the apple of my mom's eye. All I had to do was imagine anything like this happening with any of my girlfriends, boys, or, whatever. So that made it rather easy to get to the emotion of it. And I can just imagine if someone was trying to take your only child to China and you hadn't met them yet, and they're talking about marrying them and taking them away. And Laz Alonso was such an inspiration because he's such a wonderful young man. And I had worked with him in this Christmas. He was sort of like the villain in this Christmas, but I had a chance to spend time with him and talk with him about treasure mapping and some of his dreams. And he talked so highly about his mother, who's a single mom. And I could just, it was just so clear how easy it would be to just have a hissy fit if somebody was trying to take him totally away, Now,
what if they only taking him up the street?
That's something I think she would have been able to deal with it much better. But there were so many, and I played her honestly, I felt, because I felt that this was a young girl who's really what young girls are now. They're into the technology. There's text messaging and and everything is Twitter and Facebook and all that. But that's before this woman's generation, so she's not doing any of this. And so the new girls have to realize that they have to go and do some of the old-fashioned things with their new mother-in-laws. And so that was my problem with this little girl. She hadn't come to meet me, and she's talking about she's going to take my son to church. Like, oh, hell no, you ain't.
Now, you really got that character. That was real. That sounds like a real mama right there. Oh, that was good. I see where you're coming from. And that's true because we are in a texting age. And it's amazing. A lot of adults do it too. It's like nobody really talks personally anymore. Everything is by text and it's really quick. But I want to talk about Medea's Big Happy Family because you also played a mom in there too. You just played a perfect mother role. I guess that's why everybody gets you. Because I know Bishop Jakes loves you. He talked about you last week, so he absolutely loves you. So I see why he hired you again.
Well, that was I lucked into that job. I was doing for Colored Girls, and then we were working one day on the set. He said, "Oh my God, you would be perfect to play my mother in my next movie." And I said, "Oh, sure, Tyler, I'd love to." I thought he was talking about Medea's mother.
Wow.
So I got prepared to play this old. I said, well, hell, she got to be at least 80 or 90 if she's going to be Medea's mother. And then when I got there, he was like, Loretta, when I talked, well, you have all these conference calls that you do with the stylist and the wig person and the hair. And I kept saying, well, are we doing silver hair? He said, what are you talking about? I said, well, aren't I playing Tyler's mother? Like Medea's mother? He said, Miss Devine, no, you playing Bauer. So then they made it clear to me what I was doing. But by then I got the script and everything, everything. But everything happened at once. I was doing some Colored Girls, and the very next week I was doing Jump at the Broom, and I did Medea's. They were like done all in a row, and I was like exhausted. So by the time I got to Medea's movie, it was easy for me to play a woman that was going down because I was truly going down.
Okay. So that was real emotion. You were playing yourself.
I was
That's
like,
good.
woo! Oh my God! And then he put my favorite song in there. That Kelly Price song, "I'm Tired."
Yes.
Oh my God! By the time I got to do that role, I was truly tired. And it's like when God bless you, I said, I'm gonna quit begging so much. And I was like, oh God, please send me a job. Well, he fixed me. I'm gonna be quiet for a minute.
But that's the blessing because, like I said, I was looking at your body of work and all the movies you do in television. He has definitely kept you busy. And one thing, your character in For Colored Girls reminds me of so many women who get caught up in that situation that you were in. A married situation or a man with another woman. How would you, because you played a character, I pray that you're not in that situation. I know you played that character. What would you say to a woman that's in that situation right now that you were in as that character? Anything regarding their self-esteem to try to get themselves out of that? Because it seems like it's very emotional for a person to be going through a situation like that.
Well, see, that what was so ironic about that character was that she taught a woman's group, and that her teachings were totally the opposite of what she was doing in her real life. She was telling all those women what to do and to make sure they use condoms and how not to take this, that, and the other from their man. And then she ends up with that incredible poem Auntie Jackie wrote about somebody almost ran away with all my stuff. And what happens, I think it's just like being in a gambling casino. It's like if you're at a machine and you know the machine ain't going to give you no money, but where you going to get up, where you going to find a better machine? So you just sit there and you just take all your money. So
That's good.
a lot of times when it comes to relationships, sometimes a woman will know something is off, but she just won't, she said, I'm not going to look over there at that right today. I'm not going to go through, I'm not going to look at his phone. I'm not going to go through his stuff because that's tacky. But she knows something ain't right, But it's like, where am I going to go? Oh, God, I think it's so hard for women to begin to date again also after a certain age. And so you sort of like find yourself trapped sometime in a situation. And it has to get really bad for you to get the courage to say, I got to step off of this. I got to let this go, And sometimes people stay till the bitter end until they just put it right up in their face, And that's sort of what happened with that character.
Well, if you're just tuning in, we're talking to Miss Loretta Devine. She's in Medea's Big Happy Family, and also, the great movie that's out right now. It's entitled Jumping the Broom. Now, Miss Devine, I want to know, I know you're going to be doing the new movie. You and all the ladies are coming back together from Waiting to Exhale. You have that famous sashay and walk. You know the little sashay you do while walking across the street. And that famous menu that you kind of rattle off made everybody mouth water. Are you revising that character again?
Oh, I pray so, Gloria, you're talking about.
Yes.
And we've been talking to Tara McMillan. She's she's finishing up the new scripts. They finally got Forrest Whitaker on board. And I know all the girls have said, yes, we'd love to do it. It's just a matter of timing with them. I think Angela is in the process of doing a new show, I think, for ABC, and Forrest is doing a new show. So everybody's trying to make sure that they can get it in, before their new seasons start. And me and Leela, we're on the phone every day going, child, what's happening now? Where's Whitney? What's Whitney doing?
Oh, that is great, because I haven't seen Leela Rashawn in something in a minute, so that is great, because that is the best. I know they call them chick flicks, but that is one of the best ones. You, Whitney Houston, Angela Bassett, it is great.
And the script is really good. Getting back to Happy, if you haven't read the book, because I love reading the books first, because you know when you're there seeing it, you know what's going to happen, and you can vision, and then it's like, oh, it's just like what I thought, So, Getting to Happy, it's from Terry McMillan's new book. Mm-hmm.
Now, we have this flashback for you. When you did a Different World. A lot of people don't even remember.
Oh my God.
See, a lot of people don't even remember that you did A Different World, and you might remember this, probably just a little bit. You remember this theme song?
It's a Different World.
Yeah. I just had to throw that one in there. A lot of people don't even remember that you were even in A Different World years, I want to say years ago, but it was a long time ago. Do you still keep in contact?
Do I still what?
Keep in contact with the cast.
Oh, I see Don Lewis all the time. I don't get to see Lisa Bonet that much. Sometimes we live in different cities, But like Jasmine has moved out to Atlanta, Jasmine Guy. Jennifer Lewis is still here. She did a lot. I've worked with Debbie Allen off and on. So some of the cast you see, and a couple of the girls moved to my hometown, Houston, Texas. I think one of the young women went there and started a theater school. So, you hear about I worked with Dwayne on that Fantasia's piece, but I haven't seen him since then. So it's really hard to keep track of everybody. I learned real early in show business, everybody's a big family when you're working. And as soon as the thing ends, everybody changes their phone number. You can't find anybody, So, but a lot of times you do make close friends and you stay in contact over the years. But most of the time you end up with some wonderful acquaintances, I guess you should say, that you hope to work with again.
Now, question for you, Miss Devine. Are you still singing? Many people don't know that you were in the original Broadway series of Dreamgirls and you played Laurel. Are you still singing?
Yes, and I have, on iTunes, I have an original song that I wrote called Beautiful. If anybody want to hear me, just go on iTunes and get it. Really? It's called Beautiful, and it's one of my original songs from my one-woman show that I did in October of this past year. Mm-hmm.
Oh, you did a New Orleans show, too? See, that's a little nugget I didn't even know about. Okay, now I got to go download it.
I did a one-woman show here in L.A. called Pieces of Me, which was a collection of poetry that I've written and songs that I've written. And some of it was prose, and it was a wonderful experience. It came at the end of the 3 movies, and it was a month's run at a small theater here, but I got a chance to really, to learn about, whether or not my stuff was good enough to do, and it is, so I'm excited about that.
Now, Miss Devine, I want to know what sets you apart from all the other actresses, because your filmography is, if people was to look at your list, you've been in Girlfriends and Wild Card and King's Ransom and Boston Public and Half and Half, and the list goes on. Eli Stone, Cold Case, Grey's Anatomy. It goes on and on.
I'm still on that.
Yeah, but I'm just, what sets you apart from, your list is literally 4 pages long. What sets you apart from all the others? No, it's not. It's 4 pages long. Yes.
Oh, my God. I'm what you would call a working actress. I work a lot. And also, I'm also a character actress, which is a little different from a lead actress. I would consider Angela Bassett a lead actress. We may have one or two lead actresses in our whole race, like Halle Berry, Angela Bassett, and I usually do either ensemble or character work, like in Crash. You're like part of a big group of things that happen. But luckily, I usually stand out, so a lot of times people think I'm doing the lead, but I'm not.
Because, I mean, you do stand out. You make whatever you do your own, and you're very memorable. And you're reminding of a person when they say you make the most of it. If you got 2 minutes, you make the most of that 2 minutes, or people remember you. And
yeah.
How did you develop that skill?
Well, I have a master's of fine arts in theater. I studied theater. I went to University of Houston, and from there I went to Brandeis University, where I got my MFA, and then I got a doctorate of human letters from University of Houston for all the stuff I've done. So, I've been trained, and I study, and I have like a system of working that sort of helps me to create the characters and stuff that I do, and it's worked over the years. You have to just really love it. You have to want to do it, because a lot of people stop auditioning. It's a very discouraging business. You get so many no's until you just go, oh my God. But with me, it's been incredible in that a lot of times I get a lot of yeses, and I can't do all of the stuff that I do. But I do such a variety of stuff. I do independent films. I do any other kind of film I can get, television. I do voiceovers. I've done cartoons. I sing a bit. I dance a little. The more versatile you are, the easier it is to get work. That's what I think. And then I'm usually very punctual. I know my lines. I get there on time. I'm easy to get along with. That helps too.
So you dance too?
Just a little bit.
I gotta see all of it.
Dancing with the Stars. Not the way they breaking their neck and all that. Oh no.
Just a little bit. That is actually fantastic, though, just to know. Because Miss Devine, I must say, and I know you know this in your characters, because I'm sure this is what people love about you. You have kind of like this sensual sexiness that comes across on the screen, because you have that little breathiness, Where does that come from? Is that just a part of your personality, or is that something
I don't know.
But it's really cute, and it seems very, very natural.
This is the first time I've heard this, and I've been interviewed by many, many people.
But it is true. I mean, when you see you on the screen, I mean, it's a sexiness, but it's very subtle, and it's very breathy, and it's very innocent, but it comes across on screen so well, and it's just so natural.
Oh, good. Thank you. You feel that way even after I was that mean lady and jumped in the broom.
Because even when they say something nice to you, you go back to that little, when the father was, giving you nice little compliments and stuff, and then you'll go back into that little, you go back into that character. It's great.
He was cute, ain't he?
See, that's what I'm talking about right there.
Oh my God.
That is great. But Miss Devine, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show. And what's the name of the new television show with Raven Simone you said you're going to be in?
The name of it is State of Georgia, and it's going to air June 29th on ABC Family at 8:30 on a Wednesday, I think. And we've already been picked up for 10. It's a real funny show. I get a chance to play Aunt Honey, which is a very sophisticated woman, a wealthy woman who lives in New York, and I'm letting my sister's daughter stay with me in New York while she tries her hand at becoming an actress. And she's brought her best friend along, and so I give them a bit of advice, but most of it is not good. But anyway, it's a comedy, so that's what it's about. So it should be. I think people are going to love it because Raven is so wonderful, and she's such a talented young girl. I think demographically, it's going to be a successful show.
Now, are you going to be in a movie or a television show called Norm of the North?
Norm of the North is a cartoon. I play a polar bear.
Oh, wow. So that's coming out in 2012.
That's coming out 2012. And Doc McStuffin, where I play a hippo receptionist. I think that's coming out next year, but it's a cartoon that I worked on for this whole past year. And it's such a cute little, it's about this little black girl who's a doctor, and she's like only 4 or 5, and she's playing with all her stuffed animals, and they all come alive when her mama leaves the room. And so she thinks she's a doctor, so she treats all her little stuffed animals, and I'm the receptionist in her fake clinic.
Oh, that's cute. Oh, that's cute. And a lot of people don't know you were in the PJs.
That's right. I played Eddie Murphy's wife in the PJs. That was such a great experience. I have always been saddened that they let that show go when it was in its first conception. That was a wonderful show. And it's on a little bit now. You can see, pieces of it.
Well, yeah. You are so versatile. I mean, you're doing cartoons and animation, singing, dancing, a one-woman show. When we say, how do you do it all? But I know it's by the grace of God. You have anything else that's coming up?
No, that's it for right now.
I guess that's enough, huh?
That's it for right now. I need to take a nap. That's what's coming up.
Okay. Look, and I'm keeping you on the show as well. That is just awesome. Miss Devine, I want to thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
And so nice talking to you. It was wonderful talking to you. Thank you.